Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula, and welcome to another Pokemon Go discussion video. So, Niantic announced what the June Community Day is going to be, and it is going to be none other than Deino. This is going to be the most hyped up Community Day of this year, and by far, Niantic is doing a lot of moves that the Pokemon Go community has been asking for, but with a little bit of a twist. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Okay, so for the past couple of months, Niantic has been facing a lot of backlash for some of the decisions that they've been making, especially in relations to the pandemic bonuses. A lot of them have been rolled back, and Niantic has been putting a lot of emphasis on going out and exploring, even if it is to the detriment of players and the quality of life changes that they've implemented in the past couple of years. And one of those things was, of course, the increased duration for Community Day. Now, the community has been speaking out about this for quite a long time now, and it really seemed like Niantic was not listening to that feedback. There was a lot of quality of life to having community days last for 6 hours, especially for people who had work on those particular days. They still had the chance to play during that community day because of the longer duration. But because Niantic reduced the duration of community days, that was no longer an option. It's totally understandable that Niantic wants to make the game more about outdoor play, but at the same time, players had a right to be frustrated because of how positive the game was when the community day was 6 hours. Well, then we get Deino Community Day, and it looks like Niantic was actually listening to the community because they came up with a really great compromise. Community Day is still going to last only 3 hours, but you could actually increase the duration of that Community Day by an additional 5 hours as long as you and your local community fulfill a certain requirement. Basically speaking, there's going to be a mini raid day after Community Day, and you're going to see Zweilous in raid battles all across every gym. And when you defeat Zweilous, there's going to be a whole bunch of dinos spawning underneath that gym for 30 minutes. Every single one of those dino are going to have the same shiny rate as the Community Day. So this is essentially a new way to extend the duration of Community Days as long as you have gyms near you. Now, of course, there are a few caveats to this. First and foremost, you will need to have gyms near you in order to get more dino spawning, which means this could be very disastrous for rural players. And on top of that, those Zweilous raids will not be able to be done remotely, so for players who are playing from home, they will still only have a 3-hour community day. And on top of that, Zweilous is going to be in 4-star raids, which means you will likely need more than one trainer in order to defeat it. This means that if you are in a low populated area or you do not have a community of players around you, it's likely that you will not be able to get the increased duration for Deino Community Day. But aside from these caveats, we are still going to be seeing an increased duration of Community Day, albeit it's going to be through alternative means. I think this was a pretty decent compromise from Niantic. They are still encouraging players to go out and play and explore, but at the same time, they are giving players what they wanted in terms of an increased Community Day duration. But I'm also very skeptical about this idea, mainly because there's still a lot of details we do not know regarding this whole system. I mean, we do not know how the spawn density is going to be under those gyms when we defeat those Zweilous. Are we going to see 1 or 2 dino every so often, or is it going to be a massive cluster spawn? And how often are those Zweilous going to spawn in raids? Is it going to be like raid days where they're going to be spawning around the clock, or is it going to be a one and done deal? We really do not know, but this is something that Niantic is trying out for the first time, and I'm really hoping for the best. In terms of how the community should respond to this, I think we should be cautiously optimistic. I really think this could be a very positive thing for community days moving forward. If this ends up becoming a huge success, I really do feel like Niantic is going to adopt this model for every community day moving forward, and I do actually like it. But of course, there are going to be issues here and there, like the ones I mentioned earlier in this video, so it's up to us as the community to continuously provide constructive feedback so that they can make this system even better. I do think there's a lot of potential here for some really great gameplay, and I really do hope it ends up working out. I mean, let's be real here. They've been needing some positive buzz for a long time now. They've been on a negative trajectory for the last couple of months because of some decisions that they've made, and I do think that if they want to rebuild that trust and that relationship with the Pokemon Go community, then they need to make compromises like this. And even though this solution is not perfect, you still have to give credit where credit is due. This is actually a very creative solution. I'm also really glad that they're implementing this for Deino Community Day, because this is one of those community days that's been hyped up for the last couple of years. A lot of players have been looking forward to this particular community day, and it would have been a real bummer if they only had it for 3 hours without any kind of chance for increased durations. I also like the fact that it seems like they are fully aware of the hype behind this particular community day, because it's not just with the increased duration and this new system, it's also a whole bunch of stuff that they're adding to community day that's going to make it a more robust event. There's just so many bonuses with this community day that people are not necessarily talking about because of course this new system is in the forefront of players' minds, but we're also going to be getting double the amount of candy during this event, and you're going to have double the chance at XL candy during this event as well. That is pretty big because of course if you were to pick up a high IV Deino, you will certainly want to max it out. It's looking like it's going to be a solid dark type and dragon type raid attacker in the future, considering that it's getting a very powerful dark type community day move. Basically speaking, Niantic is checking off every item on the list that would make this a phenomenal community day. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I do like the direction that Niantic is going. We should just be very positive about this, because even though there are problems with the new system, I still think it's a step in the right direction. And of course, we as a community has been pretty negative towards Niantic for a long time now, so having any kind of positivity is a breath of fresh air, and we should take it whenever we have the chance. Even for myself, I've been very negative towards Niantic as of late, and I have to say, because I like this game so much, I do not like the fact that Niantic has been giving me so many reasons to be negative rather than being positive. So I'm really happy about this, and I really do think that you should be as well. But again, I totally understand if this system is not going to work for you, considering that it's not an official duration increase like what we've seen before, and it's going to be something that we kind of have to work for. Yeah, I can understand why players would still be unhappy about that, because it's still not exactly what players have wanted, but it's still a good compromise, and as long as Niantic is trying to meet us in the middle, I think it's okay for us to try to meet them in the middle as well. But anyway, yeah, these are just my thoughts and opinions regarding all of the changes that are coming to this community day, but I would love to know your thoughts down below. Am I the only one that is happy about this change, or is everyone else feeling really positive about this as well? Definitely share your thoughts down below, and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, then do consider checking out the links in the description below. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.